BJNMMA.com here with UFC welterweight Jake Ellenberger. Just a few weeks away from your victory over Diego Sanchez. First of all, back in your hometown, tell us a little bit about the fight, what that was like fighting in Omaha in front of your hometown.
Sure. That was a great experience, coming up from the Midwest and just being able to represent the Midwest, this is always an honor. To headline another UFC event is awesome, and I had no idea they were coming back to Omaha, until a few weeks before that when they let me know. But it was cool. It was a huge experience. It was the crowd was insane. It was it was kind of hard to put in words, but got the win. It was another tough fight, but got the win and moving forward from there.
Yeah, so fighting in front of your home crowd, would you say, you fought on some big shows, but would you say that fighting in front of your home crowd, you liked it more, you liked it less?
I'd say I liked it more.
Yeah.
I don't see, there's no more pressure than usual, you know what I mean? Every fight, you got to deal with a lot of things, and everyone's got to address the same issue, so when being home, I was more comfortable. I felt comfortable. There's a lot of distractions everywhere you go, but coming back to Omaha, it was more of a comfortable feeling, and there's been a lot more uncomfortable situations, I think, in my UFC career than the last one. So
and you battled back from that third round there. People want to criticize maybe cardio, or they say, well, if they had gone two more rounds, it seems like Diego was really gaining on you there. What do you have to say about that?
There's always going to be some criticism and
right.
Some people that are real skeptical, but I was extremely confident going into this fight, even if we went 5 rounds, because
right.
At the end of the day, it's like, if you look at the position he got me in, he took my back, like that's a hard position to deal with. It really is. And anybody who's good at jiu-jitsu or knows the transition game really well in MMA it's a tough position to deal with. It doesn't matter if that was the first minute of the fight or the last minute. It happened to be the last minute and a half of the
right.
fight, but if you would have took my back in the first minute of the fight, it would be hard to get out of, because that is probably the hardest position to get out of. And a lot of people say, I'd rather be, they would rather be mounted than have someone on your back, because especially when you get a guy who's good on their back.
Yeah.
On ice is good on the back. It's
right.
extremely hard to get off him. But he's good there. He capitalized on a mistake I made, and it had nothing to do with conditioning. It had nothing to do with cardio. That was by far the best shape I've been in for a fight, and he was just as tired as I was. I think
right.
I could tell he was tired. He had a good position, but he couldn't finish me or do anything with it. But I know if we had to go 4 and 5, I definitely could have done it. He was breathing hard and stuff, but people like to criticize or whatever.
Sure.
Unanimous decision. Got the win, and time to forget about it and
right.
move forward.
So have you heard anything at all regarding what's next for you from the UFC?
Not yet. No. I was still hoping that the Carlos Condit fight would be possible, but I really have no idea.
Right. It kind of looks like he's wanting to wait.
Yeah. And I have no idea. I don't have a date. I don't have any idea of an opponent. There's a couple fights coming up that I gotta pay close attention to, but I'm not in a hurry to get back.
So you're not in a hurry to get back in the cage, you mean? Or?
Yeah, I've been kind of taking it easy the last couple of weeks, but
right.
I'm not in a huge hurry. June would be a good time for me.
Okay. Yeah, and we got a chance to talk a little bit in Omaha, and you said you didn't really want to sit out too long, but let's say the UFC did offer you maybe the winner of GSP. Let's just say GSP Condit. You're looking at probably a year, maybe. Is that something you want to sit out that long?
No, not at all. I could do it, but the more time you're off in this sport, and especially at this level, you look at when you start looking at the top 6, top 10 guys in each weight class. It's separated by such a minute.
Right.
It's separated by inches. And,
right.
I like to stay active in training, and the more time off, the harder it is to come back. I'm curious to see how GSP is going to be when he comes back.
Sure.
Granted, he's definitely one of the best fighters in the world right now, but anybody who hasn't fought in over a year, it doesn't matter who you are, it's gonna affect you a little bit. But
right.
yeah, it's it's saying maybe 3 months, 3-4 months. I'd like to get back in there. So I would definitely, even if I was in Condit's shoes, I wouldn't want to wait. That's up to him, but not me. I would rather fight.
All right, so let's talk about the reason that you're here actually in Kansas City. Joe, your brother, played a huge part. You've mentioned him many times. He's played a huge part in your career, and kind of with the things he's dealing with in his personal life have kind of spurred you on. Tell us a little bit about what Joe means to your career, and just his what tomorrow's going to bring for Joe in Titan.
Yeah, obviously my brother and I are real close. He's actually one who's got me into kind of competing at all in any sports, and a big reason why I'm in this sport I am in now. But he's it's been cool watching him progress through his wrestling career and now into MMA, and he's had a lot to deal with, in the last few years, and same with our family. But I mean, he's definitely inspired everybody. Just the way he deals with the adversity, and coming through. He's had a lot of hard things to deal with, but he loves to compete, and he has that passion to compete. So I mean, I have no doubt that he's gonna keep striving, moving forward, and winning. So I'm excited for him to get back in there tomorrow. He's been working really hard. He's put a lot of work, a lot of time in, and helped me out a lot. He was being Diego for a few weeks for me. So he's been training hard, though. I'm excited to see him get back in there and get a win and get his confidence back up, and move on to hopefully it's getting the big show. But yeah, it's just been when you talk about a lot of his struggles he's gone through and his adversity, it's been a lot of things, whether it's been injury or with his P&H, but I mean, it really, I think just the struggles and the adversity that you face is really gonna, it's really gonna show your true character, and how you deal with stuff. And it's kind of the same way, I look at this sport, the sport of fighting. It's like the sport of life. You know what I mean? Like you really, life's gonna test you, when it comes to adversity and when it gets hard and when things are tough, and that's really gonna, the truth's gonna come out, and it's really gonna show the integrity. But it's just like in fighting, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get hit, and it's gonna hurt. But how you deal with that and how you come back is all about, it's gonna show your character and your true colors.
Right.